morning, my dear children. Today we are going to study Geography Chapter 3, Our Changing Earth. In this chapter, we'll discuss how the surface of the earth is changing constantly. The uppermost layer of the earth, that is the lithosphere, has number of plates known as the lithospheric plates. The landmass on which both the continent as well as the ocean plates resides is called lithospheric plates. These plates are broken into small sections. These plates move around very slowly, just a few millimeters each year. Now, what makes them move? It is because of the molten magma inside the earth. Molten magma inside the earth moves in a circular manner. This causes the movement of the plate and hence the plates causes the changes on the surface on the earth. Earth movement is divided into two types of forces, that is the exogenic forces and endogenic forces. By name, we can figure exo means outside, endo means inside. So, the kind of exogenic forces are rivers, wind, sea waves, glaciers. And endogenic forces are natural calamities like earthquake, volcano, landslide, etc. Another point to notice is the endogenic forces causes mass destruction and exogenic are naturally occurring and it doesn't cause much of destruction compared into endogenic. Next, what is the volcano? A volcano is nothing but a ventilator on the earth's crust through which molten material erupts. When the lithospheric plates move, its surface of the earth vibrates. The vibration can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquakes. The place in the crust where the movements start is called the focus. And the place on the surface above the focus is called the epicenter. Vibrations travel outwards from the epicenter as waves. Greatest damage is usually closest to the epicenter and the strength of the earthquake decreases away from the center. An earthquake is measured with a machine called seismograph. The magnitude of the earthquake is measured on the Richter scale. Any magnitude stronger and higher than 7.0 is classified as the major earthquake. Next, major landforms. The landscape is being continuously worn away by two processes, weathering and erosion. So, the definition of weathering is breaking up of the rocks on the earth's surface. So, by the word weathering, you can figure out that it was something do with the change of weather. A piece of rock doesn't stay the same after few years or continuous change of weathers act up on it as an agent which is breaks it down. Then comes erosion. Erosion is the wearing away of the landscape by different agents like water, wind and ice. So, water takes away lot of the soil and it deposits from one place to another. Wind again takes away, blows away all the sand from one place to another. Ice again takes away the entire soil with it. One such starts melting turns into water and takes away the entire soil of that place. The eroded material is carried away or transported by water, wind, etc., and eventually deposited. So, now we understand the meaning of erosion and deposition. Next, work of a river. What does a river do? There is a layer of hard rock on which the river flows. As the hard rock layer forms a descent or a steep, the speed of the flowing river increases. Now, just below the hard rock layer, there is a soft rock layer. When the water finally falls, there is an undercutting in the soft rock layer below the hard rock layer, due to which the river water falls perpendicular to the ground, forming a clutch pool. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends known as meanders. As the river approaches the sea, the speed of the flowing water decreases and the river begins to break up into number of streams called distributaries. The river becomes so slow that it begins to deposit its load. Each distributary formed its own mouth. The collection of sediments from all the mouths forms a delta. Next, work of sea waves. What does the sea waves do? We know that the erosion and deposition of the sea waves helps in forming the coastal landforms, that is the beach. Now, the sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. See this picture? You can see these small arches and sea caves that are called rock. These are due to the continuous strike of the sea waves, and over time they became larger and wider. Thus, hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. And in some places you can see sea arches are formed. And then we have another type of formation called the stocks. Now, let's read about the work of ice. What do they do? Glaciers are nothing but rivers of ice. We know that. And they erode the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. Now, as the ice melts, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountain. The material carried by the glaciers, such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt, gets deposited. These deposits are called glacial moraines. And last, let's read about the work of wind. Another type of agent of erosion and deposition is the wind. Now, usually in desert, you see the shape of the rocks on mushroom types. So, they are called mushroom rocks. The reason they are called mushroom rocks is because of the wind erode the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrower base and wider top. So, when the wind blows, it takes away the sand from one place to another, and when it stops, the sand falls or deposited and becomes low hill. These are called sand dunes. Okay? Thank you.